Now, one time when I was in school, and by the way, this is a true story. I promise I'm not making any of this up. One time when I was in school, I came home from school to my home. My mom had made spaghetti for dinner, right? Have you ever had spaghetti at your house? Yeah. Right? Had a big pot of noodles, a big pot of spaghetti sauce. And I have a brother. He's 3 years younger than me. So he's my little brother. So my brother and I came home, and we were going to eat some spaghetti. Okay? Now, it was a special night at our house, because on this night, we had the opportunity to watch TV while we were eating our spaghetti. This was something that we didn't get to do every night. Right? Sometimes we had to sit at the table, but on this special night, we were going to have spaghetti, and we were going to sit in the living room on the couch, and we were going to watch TV while we're eating. So I went into the kitchen, and I got my plate, and I filled it up with spaghetti. I love spaghetti. Does anybody here like spaghetti? Yeah, me too, right? It was awesome. So I filled up my plate with spaghetti, and I put the sauce on the top, and I put a little bit of the Parmesan cheese on the top, and I got my fork, and I went into the living room, and I sat down on the couch, and I started eating, watching TV, right? Now my brother, he goes into the kitchen, he gets his plate, he fills it up with spaghetti, he piles it high, he puts the sauce on the top, he puts the Parmesan cheese on the top, and he comes in to sit down in the living room, but just before he sits down on the couch, he trips and he spills that spaghetti all over the floor. And I want you to know, spaghetti and spaghetti sauce went everywhere. Can you imagine how much of a mess spaghetti sauce would make if it landed on the couch and on the carpet and everything? It made a huge mess. Everything was stained red. He felt terrible. And you know what? He was in trouble with my mom. She made him go get the cleaning supplies. He had to scoop up all of that spaghetti, put it on his plate, go throw it away in the trash because it was dirty. He had to scrub that carpet, get all of the red out. He had to scrub that couch, get all of the red out. While he was doing this, I was just sitting on the couch eating my spaghetti. Right? Because I didn't spill it. I didn't spill my spaghetti at all. So he's working. He's scrubbing. I'm watching TV. Now, he goes back into the kitchen. He's ready to start over, right? So he cleans off his plate, cleans up the mess and everything. He goes back in. He goes up to the stove. He gets another plate of spaghetti, right? Piles it high. He's got a big plate of spaghetti. He gets some spaghetti sauce. He puts it all over the spaghetti. He gets the Parmesan cheese, sprinkles it over the top, and it looks good. He's got his plate and his spaghetti and his fork. Now my brother, who is kind of a silly guy, thought that it was so funny that he had spilled the spaghetti the first time that he was going to show us how silly it was by taking his plate in his hand, holding it high above his head like this, like the waitress or the waiter does in the restaurant, right? He's going to hold the plate high above his head like this with all of this spaghetti and sauce, and he is just going to march into the living room like this. And he does. And he marches in, and he says, "Spaghetti to be served." And about the time he said that spaghetti hit the floor, and he spilled it a second time. And spaghetti and sauce went everywhere. And it was all over the carpet, and it was all over the couch, and it was all over everything. And if you think he was in trouble the first time, you should see how much he was in trouble with our mom the second time. Because not only had he spilled it again, he had spilled it while he was being silly about it. So guess what happened? My mom, our mom, made him go get the cleaning supplies, go get the trash can, and he had to take all of that spaghetti, throw it in the trash, clean off his plate. He had to scrub the carpet. He had to scrub the couch. He had to clean and scrub until everything was just perfectly clean again. And all of that that spaghetti he had to throw in the trash. And start over. Now, our house was not a happy place at this time because my mom was really mad at my brother. He still hadn't eaten. I was still on the couch eating my spaghetti. Still watching TV. My brother goes back into the kitchen, and this time he's taking his spaghetti very seriously. So instead of going to get a plate, he went to the special cabinet and he pulls down a pie plate. What's special about a pie plate? What?
It won't fall out.
It's got those high sides on it, right? You know how a pie pan or a pie plate has those high sides? So what he was saying is, look, I'm going to get this high-sided plate right here. I'm going to eat out of a pie plate tonight because I don't want my spaghetti to spill out because I've already spilled it 2 times. So he takes that pie plate, and my mom saw what he was doing, and she said, oh no, you are not going to eat out of the pie plate. You are going to eat out of a regular plate, like a regular person. So he sighs, and he takes the pie plate back to the cabinet, and he gets his regular plate, which is nice and clean now, and he fills it up, and he puts spaghetti on it, and he puts sauce on it, and he puts the Parmesan cheese on it, and he's got his fork and his plate. And when he walks into the living room, he walks very slowly and very carefully because he does not want to spill the spaghetti again. How would you feel if you had spilled it 2 times? You would not want to spill it, would you? He's walking like this all the way into the couch. I was sitting there eating my spaghetti, and he's coming in very slowly. He comes down, and he slides over to where I'm sitting. I was sitting over here, and he's standing right here. He's holding his plate like this. He very slowly begins to sit. And just before his posterior touches the upholstery of the couch, guess what happens? He spilled his spaghetti again, and it went all over the floor. And spaghetti went everywhere, and sauce went everywhere. And my mom, who was watching this, went crazy because he had spilled it 3 times. And do you know what she did? She jumped up in the air and ran away to the back of the house. And she locked herself in the bathroom. Later I said, Mom, why did you run to the back of the house and lock yourself in the bathroom? She said, because if I didn't, I was afraid I was going to kill him because he had spilled the spaghetti 3 times. My brother runs after her. Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for spilling the spaghetti. And he's knocking on the bathroom door. Let me in. Let me in, Mom. And she says, I'm afraid I'm going to kill you if I open the door. Now, being the good brother that I am, I decided that since I was already finished eating my own spaghetti at this point, I would do the cleaning. So I went to get the rag and the cleaning supplies, and I scrubbed and cleaned the couch and cleaned the carpet. This is the 3rd time that we've cleaned it. Until everything was nice and clean again, and it was all ready for when my brother came back in there. And I was ready to get seconds of spaghetti, because I had already eaten my plate. But now I just have one problem. There was no more spaghetti for me. And that is how we had spaghetti at our house that night.